And welcome back to the Anime Den. This time around we're going retro. I was actually at a bit of a convention, if you will, a couple of weeks ago, and they had some retro stuff up for sale on vendors' tables, and I just couldn't pass these up. These, of course, are Chara Doll Selection. They're made by Sega, and they, of course, are characters from an anime and video game series of the 90s called Sakura Taisen, and we actually have, of course, the Sakura doll and one of her friends. I unfortunately cannot remember her name, it's been a little bit too long. And these just bleed. I bought these because these were like $10 each, and they just bleed 90s charm. And there is another reason why I got them too, but I'll come to that shortly. But these are just so very cool, you know. Sort of almost not quite sort of where we are today with figure creations, but you know, these were very cool. And they're not those sort of really bad 90s, you know, sort of late 80s, early 90s Barbie imitations. You can see from the front of the box, of course, nice big window section with the figure in it. And you can see there's, of course, accessories like a card and a sword. And I'm pretty certain they're actually the socks there. And, of course, you know, her name. And, of course, we've got nice little sort of anime artwork on the side. And, of course, the logo and, again, what it is. And, of course, then on the back we have a nice little bit of character information, some, you know, an actual animated image of her, and of course some scenes from the anime, then of course all the obligatory sort of do's and don'ts. These are very cool, and I mean, I actually, and as I said, I'll come to why I brought these in a moment. These are all very cool, and of course they're Sega, and they're 1996, so they are quite old really when you sort of put it in perspective, but they are very cool. And to get them in their boxes, and I mean the boxes probably have been opened by the looks of things, and it looks like the character has been taken out previously. It doesn't matter, they just bleed cool. And one of the reasons why I got it, and what makes this video so easy to do this time around, is because back in the 1990s, I actually brought one. And mine isn't in the box anymore, so it was worth getting one in the box. And of course you can see the accessories now. There's of course the sword. And it's a plastic sword, it doesn't sheath out or anything, it's just a prop sword. And one of the reasons why I got one was because mine's actually getting a bit old and a bit tattered from being out of a box, and it has travelled very well, and you can sort of see there's some rust stains and a little bit of staining on the top from age and that. But just so very cool. And of course those white leggings that you saw were for her shoes. And of course the figure really isn't that well articulated. It's your standard sort of Barbie articulation, just a standard sort of 5 points. So the arms articulate obviously front and back. They are limited by the dress, but they do rotate backwards and forwards. These are actually supposed to sit down a little bit further. These are actually meant to be sort of over her hands a little bit, but they sit quite well there. And the head obviously articulates. But you know, this is very cool, and you can remove certain parts. I mean the actual, you know, it's on Velcro, so you can take the clothing off to a certain extent. I never have. And you can see it came on this very sort of generic, if you will, stand. And of course this one lives now in my cabinet with all my other collectibles, and you know, it's all very cool, very cool. And Sakura Taisen was actually very great. I mean, it was a good anime. It wasn't a bad anime, it was a good anime. And I never got to play the video game because I didn't have the right gear to play it, but you know, very cool and got a very good price. And you know, it's Sakura. It's Sakura from Sakura Taisen, the main character. And now I have two, so I'm happy. Oh, yes, this is just one of those sort of lush videos which you like to make from time to time, just to show your shit off. But it's retro anime. It's very cool anime. You know, they don't make these sort of dolls much anymore. You know, they sort of tend to go the Dolphies and that, which are a very nice doll, don't get me wrong, but you know, a heck of a lot more expensive. I mean, I think when I bought this one, I probably paid maybe $50 for it, back when it was brand spanking new. So, very cool toy. So, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.